Our friend Ken's here from the Sheriff's Office in CrimeStoppers. How are you?
Riley, I'm doing well. Are those new glasses?
No, I think I bought them within the last 6 months or so.
Okay. They look nice on you.
Thank you very much.
And I want to salute some really good police work.
Great.
By the Rockford Police. In this instance, there's an article in today's Register Star, and I saw the press release that came out yesterday, but Chris Green of the Register Star reports very well on this incident. An 18-year-old Davis Junction man was struck by a Rockford Police squad car before he was arrested in connection to armed robberies at two Rockford area Subway restaurants. The latest armed robbery occurred shortly before 10 p.m. on Sunday. Members of the Rockford Police Department's specialized community-oriented police enforcement team were conducting surveillance in the 3300 block of 11th Street. Shortly before 10 p.m., officers saw what they thought was an armed robbery at Subway, 3313 11th Street. Officers radioed for assistance and waited until the suspect, later identified as Nicholas Duncan, exited the restaurant. Duncan ran, and officers pursued him in their vehicles. He continued to run until he reached a tall fence, which he was unable to scale. Duncan then turned toward the officers and pointed his gun in the direction of the officers while they were in their vehicle, police said. Police said the officers believed Duncan was preparing to shoot, and the officers struck him with their unmarked squad car. The impact caused Duncan to fall onto the hood of the car and drop his gun. Duncan was then arrested without further incident. It was later determined that the gun Duncan was armed with was actually a BB pistol. Duncan refused medical treatment after being examined by Rockford Fire Department personnel. No one inside the Subway was injured during the robbery. Duncan was charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and obstructing. Winnebago County Sheriff's Police say about 9:30 p.m. on Friday of last week, they responded to a similar armed robbery at a Subway at 5022 South Main. After Duncan was arrested Sunday, Winnebago County Sheriff's detectives connected him to that robbery, and Duncan was charged with an additional count of armed robbery. Detectives from both agencies continue to investigate whether this guy is connected to other similar crimes in the Rockford area. But I want to get back to what police say. This guy pointed what turned out to be a BB pistol. If you are stupid enough to carry a gun that you have no FOID card or what appears to be a gun, it's a BB pistol, and pointed at a police officer,
you're lucky.
Expect consequences. And they could have fired on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's happened before.
Sure, but apparently the car was a better weapon at that particular point, and they used it.
And they used it, and they apparently used it well.
Yeah.
Duncan was not seriously injured. He fell onto the hood of the car and dropped his gun. I want to say excellent police work.
Absolutely. And nobody around the area hurt nobody who was in the restaurant, hurt nobody working there. And, and this guy will live to tell the tale.
Right.
Where a lot of times you raise up a weapon like that to multiple officers, you're not going to live to tell that tale.
Right.
And, it was only a BB gun. Yeah, like they're supposed to be able to determine that in 1/10 of 1 second.
Bingo. When somebody who, and I'm not sure how far away from the officers' squads how far he was from these guys. But again, they're not going, okay, now is that an actual handgun? Is that a BB gun? Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why don't I sacrifice my life while I sit here and try to decide what that is? There's online, you can Google this as well, where there's a pellet gun and a handgun put side by side, and you're looking right down the barrel like it's pointed at you. Mm-hmm. And they say, all right, which one is which? Now. Well, but you still have people going, well, it was only a pellet gun. How come the cops didn't shoot him? They should know that. Really? In the dark, in a high adrenaline situation, and a guy raises a weapon and points it. No, whatever happens to you when you do that, you've brought on yourself.
But because this turned out well, because there was no deadly force used by Rockford Police in this instance,
at least in the form of a firearm,
it turned out to be a page 8 story as opposed to a page 1 story.
Right.
Had this robbery suspect been killed by police.
I don't know. I think it rises above the level of page 8.
I think this is an example of fine police work.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Congratulations to, in this case, the Rockford Police Department for for getting this guy.
And I'm glad you shone the spotlight on it as well.
Riley, there's some budget issues that face the Sheriff's Department. Winnebago County Sheriff Gary Caruana says the county board's 3.9% across-the-board budget cuts have left him short on cash to fund the river patrols. The sheriff is quoted as saying it's a quality-of-life issue. He said of the boat patrols, I want to provide it, but I need funding for it. The projected cost of the summer river patrol is about $92,000, which includes salary for one full-time deputy and one reserved deputy, as well as fuel, maintenance, and installing and removing buoys. The Sheriff's Department patrols a roughly 20-plus mile stretch of the Rock River from the Fordham Dam to the Roscoe Bridge. The patrols, one boat during the week and two on the weekend in the summertime, are typically conducted from Memorial Day weekend through September 30th. So we watch and see.
Absolutely.
How
hopefully that funding will come around, because they provide a very, very valuable service and help out a lot of people along the river as well.
Riley, we are looking for the following four individuals on CrimeStoppers this week. 31-year-old Gary Bielefeld is a white male, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. He is wanted for a probation violation. 29-year-old Brandon Smith is a white male, 5'11", 170 pounds. He is wanted for retail theft. 46-year-old Lisa Opinga, O-P-I-N-G-A, is a white female, 5'5", 200 pounds. She is wanted for deceptive practices. And finally, 51-year-old Lance Simon is a black male, 5'10", 175 pounds. He is wanted for theft. If you know where these people are, any one of them, give us a call at Rockford Crime Stoppers, 815-963-7867, or call us toll-free at 888-769-STOP. Remember, if you do provide us valid information that results in the arrest of somebody we're looking for, we will offer you a cash reward of up to $1,000.
That's right. And don't forget the app as well, rockfordcrimestoppers.com. You can find that. One other note about people behaving badly. You got a Colorado man sentenced to 6.5 years in prison for stealing powerful painkillers from the hospital where he worked. Just got an extra year thrown onto his sentence because he decided to take a family vacation en route to prison and showed up late to start his sentence. Apparently, they take a dim view of that. He was supposed to show up.
So that's a firm deadline to report to prison?
Apparently. It's not penciled in. They use ink. Was supposed to show up in prison November 23rd. Didn't arrive on time. December 2nd, his probation officer called the prison, found out he wasn't there. He then called Alan, who told him he was at his sister's house in Idaho, despite being told by a judge, you can't do that. I honestly didn't know I couldn't go through Idaho, he said, when he pled guilty to the felony criminal contempt of court. I agree, I went against the order of the court. I should be punished for that, but I had no intent to be malicious. The judge, quote, what you have told me, sir, is a complete load of crap. That's pathetic, a lie, and ridiculous. You going to try to sell that nonsense to me? Times in life when you know you're screwed. What he wanted to do was have a little vacation before he went to prison. Every single day you stayed out, it was a new violation of the court order. Every single day, the judge said. There is a brashness, there's a boldness to violating a court order. And there's a downside. I'm tacking a year onto your prison sentence.
Nice. Nicely done.
A former surgical technologist repeatedly stole fentanyl from patients. Swedish Medical Center in Englewood. Wasn't the first time he'd done it. Court-martialed in 2011 in the Navy, stationed at a hospital in Kandahar. Stole fentanyl there.
Wow.
Subsequently fired from various hospitals in 3 states before he was hired in late 2015. Now, 7.5, it was 6.5 at the Federal Correction Institute in Sheridan, Oregon. So you little leaguers, when you're ordered to report to prison, show up on time.
That's a firm deadline.
Right. Yeah. You know, it pays to be punctual when it comes to the penal system. Right. Ken, good to see you.
Thanks for the time.